Let's take a look at some simple yet powerful technical analysis concepts every trader should master. Today we're going to be taking a look at how you would have avoided this major move from 325 all the way to 25 because there were many red flags along the way. First and foremost, take a look at the MACD where we see this rejection at the MACD 0 line, and that by itself was a very powerful signal that the stock did not have momentum and that there was a very high chance that it could go back to test these lows here based on the double top rejection at the MACD 0 line. As we know, this means that the rejection meant that there was a good likelihood that you'd have to come back and test the prior lows. That's exactly what happened. Additionally, even before that, there was a breakout attempt here based on this monthly closing high. You see an attempt to break out. Now, this took a while, but in each instant where there was an attempt to break out over a period of many months, ultimately there was no successful breakout, and that already had given some inkling that there was a possibility that the stock had run out of energy. Another major red flag was here when we have this monthly closing low from early 2020. Notice that ultimately we break below that, and that break in itself was a fresh sell signal indicating those likelihood for more downside. That also coincides with the MACD going to fresh lows, and if you are paying attention to the MACD going to fresh lows, that was a substantially major red flag that would have got you out of the trade somewhere in the range of the 170s, 160s price level. By the way, another way to have seen the MACD give you a red flag is this support line based on the prior support. As we can see here, this double bottom support. Notice that in this time period where we come and get rejected twice here, this was also a backtest failure of this line right here. Now, this can also be seen if we take a look at the RSI at the same time. If we draw the RSI line or the prior RSI support line as such, we can see that it also showed multiple rejection areas here, again, here and here, corresponding with this monthly closing high. So there was a lot of red flags even before the stock would drop in 2022, and 2022 is this time period here. Also, let's take note on this RSI. What happens when the RSI breaks down to fresh lows, as you can see here, corresponding with this movement in price, again in the 200s, or let's call it just around the 200 price level. Now again, take note of when the RSI on the monthly drops below RSI 30.9, and if we take a look at the daily, that drop that we see right here, if we go to the daily, we'll see that that was in the May-June time frame. So in this time frame here is when the RSI on the monthly drops below 30.9, and the stock has stayed below 30.9 on the monthly since then. Notice how prices have dropped all the way from the mid 50s and now trading as low as 20. All of this just by understanding what happens when a stock moves its monthly RSI below 30.9 right here. That's a major red flag when that happened at that time. And again, a lot of this pain could have been avoided. Now remember, we are still below 30.9, so chances for a sideways to down market as far as this stock is concerned continue to be very high. Now, at the very least, if somebody is looking for an entry, I would suggest to wait until the RSI moves above this declining RSI topside line. Movement above this line will at the very least give the stock an opportunity to start building, and keep in mind, it's not going to be moving higher with a lot of power until the RSI on the monthly moves back above 30.9. Additionally, you'd also want to see the MACD clear this declining topside line on the MACD.